I'm Elliot Arnoldo Rivera. COMEGA is a gathering of men or male identified, or it's a spectrum here in Connecticut, where we meet here at Camp Hazen twice a year, and where 80 to 120 men come and drop in and find the support in the work that they need to do and work and support others.
Men come from California, they come from Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., Delaware. They come from all over. My name is Jim Reedy. I'm from Concord, New Hampshire. At COMEGA, there's this heightened level of commitment to providing an environment where men can do deep personal work. Here, I don't get the impression that the men that show up are wanting to simply get away from their lives. They're really wanting to lean into a new way of living.
My name is Phil Moore. I live in Bristol, Connecticut. COMEGA to me is a way of life. I've been coming here now for 17 years, and it started as an adventure, a curiosity. I wasn't really sure about men's work. I'd heard about it. I came by myself the first time and wasn't sure what I was getting into. And that first experience changed me a lot.
What brought me to COMEGA was being able to have a real intentional space where you can drop in, be really genuine and vulnerable, and then when you open your eyes after whatever it is that you share, you drop in, people are like, we see you. And it's just like, oh, I'm not being judged, this is cool. And what brings me back is the way that the community does respond that way, and the way that you really are part of this larger circle.
I keep coming back to COMEGA because I think I keep finding different parts of myself here. A lot of us have lost ourselves along the way, the journey into adulthood, like their spontaneity, creativity, their joy.
I had a lot of fears coming into the COMEGA, especially that first weekend, of being the one that sticks out, right? When I looked, I just saw a bunch of white dudes. I am a first generation man of color, identify as Latino. I'm from the city, born and raised in a 3-decker. Like, this is continually face and fight oppression in my current life. Like, this is what I do, and like, how safe can a place like this be? That was my story going in. And I came, and I had a phenomenally connected weekend, but it wasn't easy. It was not easy. Some of the initial fears I had, I faced. I dealt with not understanding and not feeling heard or seen. But I think that's where the magic of COMEGA really played itself out. A community developed that created a lot of safety for me, and I was able to address the things that I saw as really important. My first weekend was an interesting one, but it was also a blessing. There was something about what COMEGA is that attracted me. That was like, all right, I feel like there's energy here that I need in my life for my own personal work.
I have to be living to some degree.
Paul Dunyan. I'm from North Franklin, Connecticut. COMEGA initially for me was the outcome of 4 men who were offering a tremendous amount of support to one another through significant life transitions each of us were going through at the time. And I remember thinking, maybe other men need the kind of support we're giving one another. And what would it mean to think about manifesting such a thing? What would we do? So initially, there was no clarity other than really being grateful for what the hell we were giving each other. And that morphed into, well, maybe we could call men together and see how they respond to coming. COMEGA ended up meaning for me the birth of what those 4 men were giving each other on a larger level.
Here at COMEGA, the work gets as deep as you let it get. It looks like the one-to-one, going deeper with a person, sitting in the gazebo, sitting on the porch, or it could be part of being in your circle of 8, where you have this group that you're continually meeting with throughout the weekend to ground yourself and question and get the push you need. The more you put in here, the more you get out.
There are all different kinds of workshops that you might not expect or find anywhere else because the men here offer workshops from their own unique passions. I've been to bread baking, workshops on self-defense, finding your inner child, meditation, improv comedy. There's just so many different workshops to choose from, and they're all optional. There's a talent show on Saturday night, which again, it brings forth men's passions.
One of the elements that was ascribed to the king was his overwhelming desire to bless. If you feel you have been blessed by an older man along the way, I'd like you to stand quietly. Those of you who are sitting, I'd like you to close your eyes. One of the ancient definitions of the word sacred is to confirm what truly matters. So those of us standing, when you're ready, I'd like you to go around, place your hands gently on the back of their head or the front of their head, and say to them, especially if you know the first name would be helpful, Vincent, I confirm the sacredness of your journey. And then release. Not too loud though, just for that person. All right? No other language. Okay, guys sitting, two directions, eyes closed, a lot of breathing, because you've been waiting for this for a long time.
A lot of us men, I believe, grew up believing that we were to fulfill certain scripts, certain roles in life, and they were very narrowly defined. And a lot of us haven't figured out on our own how to let go of those old scripts or those roles, those definitions of what a man should be. I want to live a happier life, one that feels meaningful, one that feels fulfilled, one that feels like I'm really in alignment with my life's purpose. And as an adult now in my 60s, I realize that men's work, personal work, it leads me to that clarity of mind to know what I really wanted to do. And that's what I'm discovering, is who I really am and what I really want. And COMEGA provides a container where I can do that work. It's a perfect container with committed men, enthusiastic men.
My belief in myself as a leader has changed. I've facilitated a workshop for, I think, 14 years now, maybe 15 years, twice a year, with another man at COMEGA, and help men explore their sexuality. It started as a gay-straight dialogue, and it sort of blossomed from there. And now, after all that time, we have men coming back saying how it's affected their lives. It's really increased my trust in my fellow man. That's sort of COMEGA to me.
The impact of COMEGA has been to help me open my heart more deeply and for a more prolonged period of time here at COMEGA, and then I can take that home and keep sharing that openness of heart with those around me. Makes me feel like I'm a better human being.
I feel really in tune with this community. This community feels really in tune with me. It's hard to quantify in words the impact that COMEGA has had with me, because it has had a lot. It's helped me create genuine connection with other men that feels really safe and really well and really good, and it's good for my growth. It's modeled for me what support looks like and what healthy vulnerability looks like. I'm really hopeful where COMEGA is going. Like, I see the vision.